You guys, welcome to Sick of Pricks, a type 2 diabetes podcast. I'm Mary, your diabetes bestie. And today we're talking about the hardest part of getting well with type 2 diabetes, or really any chronic condition that requires you to make big changes in your life. And spoiler alert, it's not counting carbs. It's not your medicine. It's not the pricks, literal or metaphorical. It's your brain. That thing between your ears. That is where the battle begins. Today's episode is all about changing your mindset. Why it's the hardest, most underrated, but most crucial part of your diabetes wellness journey. Okay, let's talk about it. You can have the best meal plan, the fanciest glucose monitor, your CGM, your pump, your whatever, and enough diabetes-friendly cookbooks to cook a new recipe every day for a decade. But if your inner monologue is saying, this is hopeless, I suck at this, or I'll never get this right, guess what? You're fighting yourself every step of the way. I get a lot of questions about my diabetes management, my weight loss journey, what the hardest part was from going from almost 300 pounds to now being at maintenance, what really made the difference. And for me, it wasn't until I put it all together, the nutrition, the movement, and the mindset. Changing your behavior is one thing, but changing the voice in your head, that's like boot camp for the soul. And it doesn't get enough credit, right? The fact that every blood sugar check, every vegetable, every glass of water, every walk around the block starts with a thought. And if that thought in your head is what's the point, then you know the saying, Houston, we have a problem. Because your brain is a drama queen, okay? I used to think that my biggest obstacle was my blood sugars. It was my insulin resistance. It was my obesity. But really, it was my brain that was the biggest obstacle of them all. I used to tell myself all the time, you failed before, don't bother. You'll never be one of those healthy people. You're not the kind of person who sticks with things. Like I said, drama queen, right? I had to learn to talk back, to treat my brain, and pardon my language, like the lying hoe she was being. Like, I appreciate your creativity, but like, back off. You've got to start catching the lies you're telling yourself before they spiral into habits, because mindset isn't just about thinking positive. It's about choosing the thoughts that fuel action and not sabotage it. So I want you to think about the story that you tell yourself every single day. Are you the underdog with like a comeback arc, or are you the burnout who's just getting by? We all have that internal narrator, and if yours is being a jerk, it's time to fire them or like put them on a self-improvement plan, like a 90-day performance review. So we have to change our language. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I'm learning how to do this. Instead of, I always fail, say, I've struggled before, but I'm still showing up. Because guess what? Language matters. And wellness is not just a before and after photo. It's a gritty, sweaty, sometimes snack-filled journey of self-leadership. Okay, this part is going to be a little touchy, and if you feel attacked, sorry, not sorry, okay? I know one of you out there, at least one, is thinking, but Mary, I have to get motivated first. And I'm sorry to tell you, that's big nope. Okay, I'm calling BS on the I have to get motivated first. Because motivation is like a spark. It's bright and exciting at first, but it's quick to fade when things get tough. You don't need motivation. I said what I said. You need mindset and you need discipline and a plan and maybe a friend who says, hey, step away from the fridge and go for a walk, in all caps with exclamation points. You don't think your way into a new mindset. You act your way into a new mindset. So this right here, if you take away one thing from this episode, it's that sentence. You don't think your way into a new mindset. You act your way into it. One little decision at a time. One walk, one salad, one boundary. And then you start believing the story that you're telling. So here's what helped me make the shift from someone who had habits that sabotaged me and turn them into habits that served me and served the goals that I was working towards. Number one, I had to stop making perfection the goal because gut check, nobody's perfect. And your diabetes management is not going to be perfect. Your weight loss journey, not going to be perfect. We're all going to mess up, guaranteed. So I had to start focusing on the things that I was doing well and showing myself grace for the things that needed improvement. Because before, I used to fixate on the improvement and not even acknowledge all the things that I really was killing it at. So I had to get rid of the perfectionist mindset. The second thing I did was I started celebrating the micro wins. Things like I drank water instead of soda kind of wins. So these are small things. I read 2 chapters in my personal development book today. I took my medication on time. I walked 500 steps more than I walked yesterday. Those are the kind of wins that we need to celebrate every single day. Because if you wait till something huge, like a big monumental thing, it takes forever. I'm going to totally sidetrack here into a story about martial arts. And I know this is so unrelated to type 2 diabetes, but just go with it. So I got my black belt at 41. I tested and earned my black belt. I shouldn't say got it. I trained for almost 3 years, and it was by far the hardest thing I ever did. Anyway, our children's program at our martial arts school does something called the Stripe program. So just as an overview, when you train for martial arts, there's lots of different areas to learn, lots of different subjects. Okay? That's probably not the right term, but whatever. So you have to learn forms, your hand techniques, your foot techniques, your sparring, your falls and rolls, your etiquette. I'm probably missing something. That's 6 things, right? So if you're 5 years old and you're trying to learn all of those things and you don't get any recognition or any celebration until you do all 6 things, that's a really long time to wait to celebrate, to be proud, to get the pat on the back, right? And so they do something called the Stripe program. So anytime a kid masters one area, say it's etiquette, yes sir, yes ma'am, bowing when they enter the room, when they're leaving the room, all of that stuff, they get a certain color stripe. When they do all their hand techniques correctly, they earn a different color stripe. So this keeps the kids motivated to learn all of the things because they're getting that celebration every time. Okay, they don't have to wait 3 months till their test to get recognition for their hard work. And that's what I'm talking about when I say micro wins. The small wins every day. That's what keeps you showing up and keeps you excited for the journey, when you notice and acknowledge those little things. And the last part is, the last thing I did that helped me really shift into this growth mindset was that I gave myself permission to be a beginner as many times as it took. again and again and again. You don't need to be a completely different person to get well. You just have to stop being mean to the person that you already are. Okay, we talked about it. We've accepted that our inner critics are in the way and that the mindset is the real MVP of the wellness journey. But how do we do it? Because it's one thing to want to change the narrative in your head, to want to change that record. It's another thing to actually take over your own story. So here are 5 no-nonsense steps to start shifting your mindset starting right now, this very second. Number 1, you have to name the negative thought. You have to call it out. You can't change a thought that you haven't identified. So next time your brain says something like, I'll always be sick, or I can't do this, I want you to pause. Think to yourself, there it is again, there's that voice. That tiny moment of awareness that you have, that's where you let the light in. So recognize the thoughts that you're having over and over. Now you have to flip the script. Step number 2. You are not going to go from I hate my body to I love myself in one leap. Your brain is going to be like, this is BS and we're hitting the road. Instead, go for neutral upgrades in these statements. I'm learning to support my body. I don't like this moment, but I'm taking care of myself anyway. Okay? You are going to repeat these over and over and over. Step number 3, focus on identity-based habits. Instead of saying, I need to walk more, you're going to say, I'm becoming someone who moves every day. It's an identity. It is who you are. You're not just checking off a box, I moved today. You are becoming. You are embodying a new identity, one decision at a time. So you're going to make choices that support the version of you that you're becoming. Step number 4, surround yourself with reality checkers. You need people in your circle who will remind you of your progress when you forget, because trust me, it is easy to forget how far we've come. You need a support group, a diabetes buddy, a therapist, a coach, or a podcast. Hey, right here. Even just unfollowing the perfect people, the perfect wellness influencers, and follow people who keep it real can shift your perspective every single day. Lastly, step 5, practice, fail, repeat. Mindset change is a practice. It's not a performance. You're going to have off days. You're going to slip back into old thoughts. Cool. Welcome to being human. There's like billions of us, right? The work is in the getting back up, not never failing. Changing your mindset doesn't happen because you listen to this episode. It happens when you take these ideas and try them on one messy day at a time. Think of it as brain rehab. You're retraining your inner voice to sound more like someone you look up to. So if you're out there thinking, I'll never get this right, let me tell you something. You already are, because you're here. You're listening, you're reflecting, and that means something up here is shifting. Keep showing up. Keep questioning that inner voice. And if all else fails, blame the pricks. I'm Mary, your diabetes bestie. Make sure you follow Sick of Pricks wherever you get your podcasts, and share this episode with someone whose brain could use a pep talk. Because the real work, it's not on your plate, it's in your head. And you, my friend, are strong enough to rewrite the script. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.